Pro Football Weekly brings you the way we hear it, and what we're hearing now is that Jeff Fisher is going to be the new coach of the St. Louis Rams hub. It took a few days. We weren't sure if he was going to go to Miami, go to St. Louis. Finally, it sounds like the decision is done. He's going to be a Ram.
Well, and as near as we can tell, what it really comes down to is organizational structure, who he'll be working with. Jeff Fisher is not the kind of head coach that wants to be his own GM. He's not asking for complete power or complete control over the personnel department, but he clearly wants strong input into the personnel department. Jeff Ireland in Miami is viewed as a strong general manager, and Steve Ross is apparently committed to him. And to try and get a big name like Fisher but not be willing to give him enough input into the personnel wasn't going to work. And it leaves Steve Ross with a big problem, because we know he wanted a big name coach, and the only big name that's been out there, or at least visible, is Fisher. Now, can he double back and try and talk to a Bill Cowher? I don't think so. Maybe a John Gruden, could be. Maybe a Brian Billick is a big enough name. More than likely, though, he's going to have to start with some of the top assistants, and there's still some very good ones out there.
For Fisher now in St. Louis, they don't have a general manager, so I'm sure he'll have some input into who they bring in. They've been talking to some former guys that were with the Titans, his former employer there. But just the situation in St. Louis with Sam Bradford there and the injuries that they suffered, is he in a position where he can win soon?
I don't know about win soon, but he's got some pieces in place. You got to remember, Sam Bradford is a #1 overall choice at quarterback. Matt Stafford certainly struggled for a couple years before he had a breakthrough year this year, and some people believe that Sam Bradford can still do it too. And when you talk to these big-name veteran coaches, that's the focus. Will I have the quarterback? He met with Bradford last Sunday before making this decision. Obviously, he's comfortable that Bradford can be the man, and he's got some nice talent on defense if they can get healthy. They're going to have to rebuild the offense around Bradford, though.
Now back to Miami, with them not getting Fisher, we know that they're going to have to, kind of start over almost with their search. But they don't have a quarterback there. How desirable is the Dolphins' job?
Well, the rest of the roster is actually better than the Rams, and they've shown they can be competitive. I happen to like Matt Moore. I don't know why anybody wouldn't give him a chance. Nobody wants to let him be their quarterback. They will draft one. They could very well go after him. Matt Flynn in free agency. They could try and make a trade. The job is very desirable because it's South Florida, because you've got an owner who wants to spend money to get better. So I think that they'll find a good candidate. Again, there's still plenty out there, but Steve Ross needs to get over the idea that it's got to be somebody who already has a name. There's some great assistants like Chudzinski, just one name that rolls off the top. Todd Bowles, Mel Tucker is going to stay in Jacksonville, but some of these interim guys did a nice job. They'll find a good coach. I just don't think it's going to be quite the big name that Steve Ross has been looking for.
It's got to be a lot harder, too, with the whole Harbaugh incident from last year where he publicly was going after a coach while he had a coach. Can't sit well with a lot of the other coaches. We'll just have to see who he ends up getting. That's the latest what we're hearing about Jeff Fisher, the Dolphins, the Rams, all of it. Check back all the time at ProFootballWeekly.com.
It's never too early to start thinking about the NFL Draft, and Pro Football Weekly's new draft database has you covered. Check out updated player rankings for over 750 prospects and our exclusive PFW Stock Watch. Just go to the Draft tab at ProFootballWeekly.com.